Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Saturday Brunch with your host, with the most. And you know I'm always going to brag about having the best French toast. And that is still a shout out and a call out to Hilda Bassi and the other celebrity chefs out there. Y'all need to stop teasing me and y'all need to come on the show and let's have a conversation and have some pancakes. We're having some pancakes today. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce our guest in the house today, I'm going to need y'all to make sure you press that subscribe button and make sure you click that bell because in the House Chronicles, shout out to them. We also have amazing content on other platforms to give y'all. Make sure you all follow us on all social platforms, Instagram, X, TikTok. We're big TikTokers. And now, going into today's conversation with my brother, my fellow thespian and actor, Mr. Felix Omokhodion. I got it right, eh?
Yeah.
Right, it's been 3 takes. I'm not even gonna lie, it's been 3 takes. Bro, we're just having a conversation about the power of sports and during the AFCON, how, bro, the whole country was just at peace. Even though we're going through so much shit inside, just because our team was winning.
Nobody said too much.
We're all just happy, bro.
And just like I was saying, that's actually a political style used back in the days by the Romans. When the Romans want to keep the mob, the people, away from the problems the country is going through, they do the gladiatorial arts where you have gladiators come and fight.
God.
Yeah, they create all that.
There was a big ass one after they killed Julius Caesar.
Yeah, so that distracts the mob from the issues. So
military tactics. Speaking of military tactics, you grew up in a military home.
I know people would say that because my father bears the name Captain, but the captain there actually is a flight captain.
Tell me, what's the difference between a flight captain? What's that?
A flight captain is one who flies planes.
So he was a pilot.
A pilot, yeah.
Pilot. Commercial planes.
For so many years. Maersk Airlines, that's Scandinavian and all that. Maersk, Air France, British Airways. He's done a couple of airlines.
Has been there for that.
Oh yeah, for so many years. Yeah.
So did he used to take you guys for his trips whenever he goes? Cause I know pilots and air hostesses they be having
a couple of
tickets.
times.
What's the nicest place he took you over?
Okay, to be honest, he never. I think it was more I've only traveled with him to London and back.
How was London times back then, bro? What year?
Can I remember? That's maybe 10. No, that should be 15 years ago or so. About that. But the good thing is just the experience knowing that he's a flight captain, and that kind of made me want to be a pilot.
Yeah.
So I was telling myself, okay, when I'm done with school.
So before you, you cheater. You cheater. So you wanted to be a pilot?
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Oh, well, I just got into the field. When I got to my secondary school, I got confused. Pilots, okay, do I do piloting? And I realized that I had a great affection for the arts. Now, I have a cousin, a distant cousin who used to be a big actor, who is still a big actor, Pat Atta. Yeah, from my mother's side. So we got closer, and I was always following him to different movie locations back in old Nollywood days. And I started
Asaba days.
It wasn't really Asaba, but then, Lagos, but then we used to have, there was shoots in Sule, and then Lekki was just fresh to filmmakers.
So it was still just road, just gravel. In Lekki,
was still developing.
Yeah, we didn't have the roundabout. I remember we didn't have the roundabout.
Exactly, it was still developing, and we used to live in Ikeja, by close to the roundabout in Ireland. So we used to come to Lekki, and then lots of shoots. Then Surulere, of course, which is the birthplace of Nollywood. Surulere. And then I started.
I did not know that.
Surulere was.
I'm gonna act like I knew that.
Literally the birthplace of Lagos Nollywood as we know it today.
Why
well, most of the production houses.
Lagos Island because we have the theater there. We have what's the name of that?
The National Theatre?
Yeah.
The National Theatre is there, but then again, we had so many production houses in Surulere. There's still a lot of them now. Yeah. The old filmmakers, the likes of the Zebe Giros, the OJ Productions back then, a lot of their offices are in Surulere.
Where did they shoot the KKB show?
KKB.
You
I
remember
have
the
no
KKB
idea.
show?
I know about
Bro,
it.
when did they
Actually.
used to shoot the KKB show, bro? KKB. Bro, great times,
Oh
bro. Great
yeah.
times.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of childhood, I just want to take you back. When you were 3 years old, you and your mom, you moved with your mom. You were staying with your mom. How many
Yeah.
siblings do you have, first of all?
Only child.
So you're your mom.
Yeah, it was just me and my mother.
What happened?
Well, my parents separated. I was about 3 years old when they separated, and then my mother. I know my father went to Holland. Then
Okay.
he relocated to Holland, and I stayed with my mother. And literally, I learned just about everything in life from my mom growing up.
Wow.
So I reconnected to my father the year 2003 or 4, about that. I can't remember exactly, but
What age?
I was already grown up. I was in secondary school, actually,
Wow.
when he came back. And you know how it is. We kind of try to mend things and, just say bygones be. Yeah. But growing up with my mother, I would say I enjoyed the journey because my mother was more like a father and a mother. She's a very strong woman. Anybody you seen walking away?
She's from Imo State, right?
Yeah, from Imo State. She's a strong woman. She taught me a lot. She taught me how to be very prayerful, especially how to trust in God. Because she's a grounded Deeper
Yeah,
Life.
oh,
You know
yeah.
Deeper Life
Oh,
Church.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of thing. So every
I
time
don't even think it's just deep. I just feel like Igbo women is in their blood.
yeah.
It's in like my little sister now that's 22. Even in Gen Z, bro, she started speaking in tongues, bro, during morning prayer. I was like, bro, what is going on, bro? That's this blood has touched you. I was like, bro, I just like Igbo women in general, bro.
Yeah.
That's how the Holy Spirit's in them. Say, Mama, get all out with the Holy. Anytime they want to beat you to be preaching Bible verses, I'm like, bro, are we in church or are you disciplined?
Mine was crazy because my mom literally made me host Sunday schools. How do I put it? In the house where I had to preach for even my cousins and her.
Wild,
so that was a good development for me because it made me closer to God at a young age. I had to teach the word of God.
Wait, we're using all them daily devotionals.
Oh yes,
Daily
I
guide.
use that. Then I use the Bible. Then what I have to do is this: I prepare for it. I go to like one chapter, I read it, I understand what it's about. Then the lessons, I draft out my topic for that day. So as a kid, that was
use the daily guide as a guide.
nah. As a kid, I
wow.
literally. So most people thought like, oh, this guy, you have pastor tendencies. Like you have. I was like, hell no. They had no idea that
Oh, wait, hold
the
on.
Lord had other
So
plans.
throughout your career now, you wanted to be a pilot, a pastor, but you ended up being an actor. Is there something in the middle that we're missing? Maybe chef, musician? Do you ever think of those other careers?
No, but basically, I think it's been the Word of God as my foundation, which makes it always almost feel like I've got this ministerial aura whenever I'm around people. Because even when I'm around people, I don't know when I start literally talking about the Word of God. I think it's just something that just sticks to you, especially when you started doing those things when you were a kid. Then, of course, I always wanted to be a pilot. I still feel like maybe when I'm close to 50, I'll decide to just enroll and start doing something.
Can you fly? Do you have can you fly? Let's just stick on can you fly?
Right now I can't fly. But acting school, I have to go to acting school and get I said acting school. I have to go to flight school. Then from there, of course, you get your license and blah, blah, blah and all that. And the good thing is I know all the procedures because my father is one.
Okay.
Yeah, everything won't take me more than 3 to 4 years.
Is it?
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, it won't take you more than that. And then I could decide to fly local or international. You
Does
get
that have his own plane?
or on charter. Oh no, he doesn't.
I know all these pilots be like keeping you save up and because they're so and they'll just be flying on the weekends. I know a pilot that lives in my estate. Sometimes when he's just feeling down, he just flies on the weekends. Just goes to Abuja and comes back.
Big boy things.
I'm like, bro, what are you on? What is stressing you that much? Go for a swim or something. Nah, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly.
It's probably therapy for some people,
It is, eh?
Yeah, I think it is for some people because flying just makes you feel like you're above the world problems right now. You're above it, so you're in your own zone mentally. So just the same way when you're by the waterside, you feel relaxed and all that. I think it works for people that way too.
So still on your dad. You and your mom, like you said, leave at 3 years old. How did that make you feel with your dad? How was that relationship after that?
Okay, well, I never saw him. As a kid, 3 years, I can't remember how he looked like. I just know I grew up.
So you never really even knew him?
I never knew him. I just knew that most of the pictures my mother had with him, she had cut off his face from it.
Shut
Yeah.
Oh.
All the pictures.
Igbo women. Igbo women are like Latinas, but I keep telling people, Igbo women are like Latinas, bro. Bro, a Latina woman would do that type of shit. A woman from like Colombia. Oh my goodness, bro. But continue.
So it was crazy because I'm like, Mom, what's going on? How come all the pictures is out? And whenever I talk about him, I just saw the way her mood changed. So I knew it was not a pleasant experience. I just respected that. But, I went through primary school to secondary school. Secondary school, I started getting teased by some of my mates that, oh, everything about you is your mother, your mother, your mother, your mother, your mother. What about your father? Don't you have a father? And as a young guy, I was always like, when am I going to meet my father? At least let me just know who he is. And I remember vividly that there was a day I just knelt down to God. And I cried. I was like, God, can I at least just meet my father? Can I just know who he is? Guess what? Following day, he came to my mother's office. I don't know how that happened. Following day was the day he came to my mother's office, tried to reconnect with me.
So you were not even, you know how like some people, like especially in the African American community, the dad is not in their life and they resent the father, and like you were looking for a relationship.
Yeah, I was looking for a relationship because I think in my mind I just wanted to know what really went wrong, and I think at some point you just feel like I need a father figure somewhere, because I've been hearing, like I said, most of my friends are like, it's only your mother you keep talking about. I wanted to experience the other side. Because not like I ever lacked anything from my mom, but just I wanted to feel.
Did you think your mom was enough? Because I'm in college. I talked to one of my friends who didn't grow up with his dad.
Yeah.
And I genuinely asked him, because the stigma of single parent home, or the kid is more prone to this and that and this and that. And he's a good kid, bro. Went to college, first in his family. He's doing his thing. Shout out to Cam. Was your mother enough for you as a parent? Oh wait, or did you feel like you were missing something?
I think my mother was super enough. Super enough because basically she was like a father. She was always there. She's a workaholic, by the way. My mom.
How many jobs?
Oh my goodness. No, she works with a chemical company, production company as the production manager. She's been doing that even up to now for like 40 years. She's still working. A hard worker. She can't stay in one place. She's always moving. And she had this triangular thing. It was from the office to the house to church, from the office to the house to church, that's her lifestyle. So I was just used to it. I loved the fact that she was there for me as a parent, as a father could. And she was also there to make sure that I felt the softness of a mother. And she was also disciplined. But the whole me wanting to meet my father was more like because I had so many people talking about it in school, my friends, like, come on, is he dead?
So it was kind of
if
like,
he's
I
dead,
want to prove them
yeah,
wrong.
it's just like, okay, I want to prove them wrong. Where is he? When I ask her about this, she just goes silent. She's like, I don't want to talk about it. Just forget this conversation.
Did you tell her that people like teasing you in school and stuff?
Oh, well, she never cared. Because, it's only normal. She had bad experiences, I guess. And she just never wanted to talk about it. And then I, on my own, just went on my knees and I prayed, oh, God, please just do this for me. Do this. Let me just meet him. And the day I prayed, it was funny. The next day, he came to my mom's office. So what usually happens is when I'm done with school, I'm brought, the driver brings me to my mom's office. So I was in my mom's office. I was just somewhere because, okay, now this is also where my acting love started. As an only child growing up, when I come back to my mom's office, I usually create games on my own. I act every role.
I used to do that.
Yeah, I do that for like 5 hours straight. It was that crazy. There was a time the chairman of my mom's office came and he saw me talking to grasses and doing. He was
imaginary, but I had imaginary friends, bro. I won't even lie, bro. I had imaginary friends. I won't even.
He
lie,
was like,
bro.
he asked my mom, Madam Vic, are you sure your son is okay? Because I do that and I enjoyed my time. So I grew up as an introvert. I enjoyed my time alone. I was making movies on my own. I was acting different roles, because then I had lots of movies I loved to watch then as a kid. So I would act every role of different characters, and it was fun for me. That was what I used to. I was not the guy who was always going off to see his friends. I grew up indoors.
My mom didn't even let me.
Yeah, my mom would never let me.
It's not like we didn't want to. My mom was like, "Is it your house enough?
Exactly.
Let
Stay
them
at
come
home.
here. Come here.
If you have to read your book,
Bro,
read the Bible.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to create my own entertainment, which is good for me. Yeah. So back to the whole thing. So I was in the office one day. I was downstairs and someone just comes out, your mom is calling you. I went upstairs and my mom comes to me and said, Ugo Chuku, that's what she calls me, my Igbo name. I want you to meet someone. I'm like, she takes me to her office. And I come, she says, sit down. And she goes, sits down in her chair. She goes back to what she's doing. She's like, that's your father. And then I see this man all dressed, looking yuppie, with all that, looking all fancy. And it looks
So
like
in his captain uniform?
no, he wasn't, but he had this fly look, up and down. You could tell this guy he loves the life.
Okay.
And he goes like, do you know who I am? I'm like, I look at him, I could see my face in him. I said, you're my father? He's like, yes. Takes me out, and he takes me out immediately, and that's how we just reconnected. And like I can remember in school then, I was like a big boy in school. I was literally spending money on all my friends. I had my crew because like I was the large spender because he was spending me a lot of money. As a back then, this is like almost 20 years ago. I could have like 50K with me.
Oh my God.
So you can imagine. We'll go out, we'll chill, we'll have fun, I'll buy stuff.
You trying to buy your love?
So I felt like that. It's when I grew up. When I grew up to a certain level, I started finding, maybe he was trying to buy my...
Bro,
and my mom got jealous at some point. She was like, oh, now you're talking about your father, right?
So did they get back together?
Nah, never. Because he was already married to a white woman. I have like 2 younger ones who are white. Yeah, but I don't know, maybe the spirit touched him and it was like, oh, he had to come see. So according to him, he had tried so many times to reconnect. Apparently, even when I was a kid, he tried to see how he could sneak me out and take me to Canada to be with some of my cousins. Hey. But my mom was ironclad.
So is he still in Canada?
No, he was based in the UK.
Okay.
First, he was in Holland. He moved to Denmark, then to the UK. But then I had cousins also who relocated to Canada then when I was a kid. So he was trying to see how they could sneak me to go to Canada. But then my mom was ironclad. She made sure I had like protections, more like security right from a kid. No one could come close. So all that didn't work. Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, I'm just happy at how things turned out. I learned a lot from her. I still learn from my mom. My mom is like my biggest inspiration in everything. She's a strength.
Shout out
she's
to
everything.
mom, though. Shout out. I'm a mama's boy too. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro.
That's what's
I'm a
up,
big
bro.
mama, and I'm proud to.
I am a proud mama's boy.
I'm proud mama's boy, bro. Proud mama's boy. Yeah. But one thing I also wanted to ask you was, you grew up in Lagos.
Yeah, Lagos basically.
Early life in Lagos.
Oh yeah.
What secondary school did you go
Lagos,
to?
I went to M&K Junior Academy. Yeah, then
wow.
That was that was a junior school. Then I went to Ashdale College. I went to Shadell. I was in the basketball team, as a matter of fact. Too.
Hey! What was your favorite sport?
Basketball. Up to now, still my favorite sport.
You good?
I do pretty good. Maybe not as good as I used to be then, but
first of all, I'm going to expose him. He was on here before we started this conversation. He was like, I don't play football, but I play football. I was like,
yeah.
FIFA? I was like, yeah. I was like, you play FIFA? He was like, yeah. So we're going to find out.
Please tell him to put his money where his mouth is. FIFA, me and him.
I used to take people's rent. I genuinely used to take people's rent. Oh, bro, I'm ruthless. I used to take people's rent.
I'll tell you how bad it is that when we were young, when I was a bit younger, my cousin Patata, the actor, then a couple of other of my cousins, we would play from morning to night. The following day, won't sleep. Now we had this, we'll play. We had back supporters who were also dropping money on who would win. And like it was
play
like
online.
Huh?
You used to play online?
Oh, no, I never played online. It was always, physical. Like we have people come, we do bouts and you make so much money then. You make like 100, 200K, like back to back. Sometimes when they eat your money, you start dropping your shoes. And this one go, my wristwatch, until you recover everything. It was crazy.
Oh, no, it was wild. So secondary school, is that where you fell in love with acting, or primary school?
So I was already a model. I had modeled for brands like Coca-Cola and Fanta then already because I was big on modeling. And I was a model and I was done with, I was in the middle of school actually. I think I was in my 3rd year in school. And I started hanging out more with my cousin who's an actor and going out to shoot locations. And I started going like, oof, do I really want to do this piloting? Okay.
Oh, so you were still thinking about being a pilot when you
were because I was loving the whole thing. And I'll tell you how I started acting. I was telling myself, just focus on the pilot thing. I think that's what you should just center on. I was at home one day, the TV just popped up, and I saw an advert for... By the way, I had done like 3 or 4, they call it Waka Pass, because Waka Pass is like 1 scenes or 3 scenes, like
just like small. Okay.
So I've done that, following him to shoot, and some producers just go like, let me use your cousin to do this or that. So I've done that. So at this point, I was I don't know what I was doing, but the TV just turned on. I saw an advert on TV that they needed actors for a TV show then, which turned out to be the first TV show I did back in the
We're
days.
gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but you already brought it up. First debut TV series. Say the name.
One Love. Yeah, that's the name.
I
One
was-
Love.
This is my question for you.
Mm.
One Love, Celebrity Marriage. Which one do you think puts you out there more? Because I feel like there's a difference between, for an actor, a difference between a debut
Yeah.
and what everybody was like, they finally noticed you.
Mm.
I have my answer, but I want to hear yours.
Okay. I think it works in a weird way. Back then, we didn't have like so many movies apart from the old Nollywood. We had TV shows like Everyday People, One Love. We had
Superstory.
Fuji House of Commotion, Superstory. Those were the big things, and there was nothing like even the African Magic then. So when you watch TV, these are the shows you make.
Yeah.
So I started doing One Love. I took over from Frankie Sense to start doing One Love, playing the role of Biodu. I did that for like 5-6 years or 7, if I can remember, playing the son. And it was something we were shooting like every time. And I feel like that made me more like a
How intense
household
was it
name.
back then? I just want to know.
Oh shit. Because we shoot for like 3 months straight. We'll all live together. But they made it fun for me because we had times we go to the club and luckily for us, the woman playing my mother, Vivian Anani, she was the secretary to the governor of Night Shift Collision back then. I don't know if you ever remember the club then. It was a huge one. Governors used to come to that club, the Night Shift Collision. So we used to go, like we would just, if we had a break, like after shoot in the evening, we, the director, will go to Night Shift Collision, we'll party hard, then we'll come back drunk. Sometimes you see some people throw up by the side of their bed. And then we have to shoot in the morning. You see the director's eyes is red.
Actors. Damn actors.
It was way fun even than now because then we partied hard.
That's crazy,
everybody's
man.
eyes would be like this, but we have to shoot.
Yeah.
And we work like a family. So it made me enjoy my experience throughout the TV shows. And then after doing One Love for years, in the middle of One Love, I started doing other TV shows. I don't think there's any actor who has done more TV shows than I have in Nigeria. Because I've done like a lot of TV shows playing lead characters. Yeah. I was on like 12 TV shows playing lead characters back then.
Were you ever in Tinsel?
No, I never did Tinsel though. But even then, at a point, there was no Tinsel. It was later Tinsel came. I was on, I did Super Story. I did Bella's
up.
Place, One Love. I did Two Sides of a Coin. Like there were just so many shows. Echoes with Galaxy TV.
How was
These were
Super
huge.
Story, man?
Super Story was fun. It was fun.
Super Story.
That song is...
Bruh, every Sunday I did not miss a Super Story episode. And then Fuji has a commotion.
Oh, yeah. They made our childhood better.
Oh my God. I don't even think, I think I started watching cartoons. I watch more of Nigerian shows than cartoons. Cause I used to watch KKB show. So like, bro, as a kid, I was watching KKB show. Because like you said, there was no DSTV back then. It was just TV. So whatever came on, that's what you watch. So it was KKB show, Fuji House of Commotion, Super Story. Then you had Nigerian Idol sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. It was nice.
It was fun.
It was a good time.
It was
a good time. But I thought you were gonna. But
Celebrity Marriage was when the cinema world started, right?
Bruh.
Cinema was kind of
lineup
fresh.
of that movie.
I know.
The lineup of
I
that
know.
movie
was crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tonto DK. That's when she was. But that's when I started a crush on Tonto DK.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Right. Let me tell you a story. I remember one time I was living in my estate and my cousins know how much I love Tonto DK. So they were like, bro, Tonto DK is like on the entrance of the estate. I was like, shut up, you're lying, bro. I was like, bro, we just saw Tonto DK. She's the entrance of the estate. Bro, I live about walking. You get there in 20 minutes to the gate. Bro, I got there in 5 minutes. Sprint.
Oh, shit.
Bro, when I tell you I could not feel my heart,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to meet her regardless.
When you got there, what did you do?
Nothing. Bro, I cursed them out. I was like, why? Like, don't play with my emotions like that. Shout out to Tonto, please. I still have a crush on you.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're a married woman, but
It was amazing working with her, by the way.
I feel lonely at night. No, but bro, how was she though?
It was fun working with her. And I think then it was like her comeback to in the industry then. And she was always like, I might
What do you
be,
mean by comeback?
because she had left the industry for a while before she did Celebrity Marriage. Yeah, I think she took a break for a while. So she was always like, I'm just coming back from this hope, whatever. She was always so humble about
What year did
everything.
that movie come out again?
I can't remember exactly. I have to check. But that was like when the cinema culture just started again in Nigeria. So that was like one of the first films that was really huge in terms of we had so many great actors, like veteran actors there. And I was fortunate, courtesy of Osita Ehime, so many of them. It was huge. Odunlade, all of them. It was like stuck.
What a lineup, bro.
It was stuck. And courtesy to the producer, Uchenna Mbunaba, who's like a godfather to me in the industry. He was one person who steered me because I used to be more of a TV actor. So he helped me transition into a movie actor. And Celebrity Marriage was a good opportunity. It was a good platform. I enjoyed shooting it, filming it. It was a good story, you know. So I would say when it comes to the cinema world and to new, fresh viewers who probably did not have the opportunity of watching TV shows back then, they're like, oh, okay, he's an actor. I like this. I like that. So that gave me like also a fresh fan base. Let me put it that way.
Did you ever, we talked when the cameras are off about what I see acting as. I see it as a sport. I see it as competition. And I bring an athlete mindset to acting, whether it's in auditions, whether it's on set, whether it's in performance. I perform as an athlete. So I'm very competitive as an athlete. Celebrity Marriage was filled with a lot of athletes, a lot of star-headed athletes. Were you ever overwhelmed at any point, or were you like, I'm going to show you guys that I do this?
Okay, so here's the thing. Coming from a background of Lee Strasberg, method acting, you know.
We're going to get to that too.
Yeah. I always see those things as opportunity. I'm like, an opportunity to show them that this is what I live for.
I really do this, bro.
Yeah. So I never ever.
I'm not just putting this on my Instagram.
At all. Like I'm telling you, I do this for real. Like this is my life, you get. And it was just an opportunity for me to express myself. And it was great working with actors who even made it more comfortable, you know, for us to have a good time while we were even filming. And we had a lot of times we had to laugh and talk about this and talk about that. And yeah, it was good for me. Every opportunity for me, I'm one person who I've been trained never to get intimidated because I know there are methods to everything. I never do. Instead, it's an opportunity for me to show you what I got. That's the way I say it.
Do you think you killed it?
I think I killed it.
You fucking killed it.
I tried.
You fucking killed it. Oh my goodness, bro. I feel like that's why I say that's when the world saw who you were, because you let them see you, you let them feel you.
Yeah.
And I like what you said. You referenced the school you went to in LA. That's your alum? You're alum of the school? Do you visit back sometimes? What's the Lee
Strasberg Institute?
in LA.
It's also in New York, actually.
It's also in
New York, yeah. Yeah, but we have a branch in LA, and what it does basically is method acting. It teaches you the deeper levels of acting, which is unconventional because we have some tricky ways to go about it, which is courtesy of the school and probably Stella Adler School to use some similar, because Stella Adler and Lee Strasberg, they quite had an understanding.
With each other.
Because they all came out from Stanislavski's students and all that. So they had methods they used to pull us out of our butt and for us to be able to bring out the best of every character. So for me, it was, I used to think acting was you just come and deliver and just give expressions, but it gave me a new insight to realism. To realism, to feeling it. It's just like, typically when you ask an actor, okay, I need you to act cold. You see everybody shivering and doing that. But then cold starts in stages. First, you're having frostbite. You can feel your hands tingling. So you have to go through every emotion gradually. I feel like
there's even a moment whereby you feel it so much that you give yourself goosebumps.
Exactly.
That's when the shiver just...
Yeah.
I love what you're saying and how you reference you being in Celebrity Marriage and remembering what freaking school I came from, because I remember the first time I got a chance to be on a YouTube project, and we're going to get into the YouTube scene. I was like, Miracle, you do this. Syracuse University is not no joke. Show these people that you do this. Show this is your chance. Show them that you do this. Make them feel you. And your school's in LA. You're a thespian. Most people think you will go to New York, if any place. Why LA?
Well, first of all, I have cousins in LA. And when I was trying to reference schools, I just looked at, okay, proximity. Where is the easiest place? Like if I was in New York, I did not have at that time people I was so close to in New York. But in LA, okay, I had people there who I could always, come into, oh yeah, I'm in school. And they could also help to monitor me and, all that. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll pick LA. And LA also gives you the Hollywood feel, like, gives you that smell. And, the course was for a while, but it was a beautiful experience for me because the course was roughly about 5 to 6 months, but it was intensive. It was intensive, and there's a way they just packed up the teaching so that, because it's a short time you have, but then they make sure that they drill it into your skin. It was like, people thought I took a break from Nollywood that period because I was like off scene, but I took my time to just try and become these. It was so crazy. We had some very weird, unconventional ways to get into characters, which has built me to be the actor I am. And although in Nollywood right now, we do not do too much of character acting, apart from the great things we are doing now in cinemas, which is fresh.
Did they teach us a method actor?
Oh yeah, because we have like the styles are drilled in my brain of how to get into.
That's dangerous, bro.
Oh yeah,
method acting is dangerous.
Oh yeah,
bro.
because if you do not understand how to even pull out of characters, you might stay in a character for too long.
Bro.
Yeah, but in Hollywood, we do drama. We do drama mostly. So you just pick a bit of the things and just infuse. But when you want to really go into the depths of characterization, there's a lot that comes to play. You have to forgo yourself.
Do you know who I think is a great method actor in Nigeria? This guy that played in this movie that coupled, not just AMVCA, the last AMVCA. He played as he had a scar.
Chidimoke?
Yes. What was that role again? That movie that
Shantytown, okay.
His role in Shantytown. I talked to this man in AMVCA. He was still in his role. He was still using the voice. I was like, bro, that's scary, bro. Like, he's a deep method actor. He's crazy. And I don't think do you think they teach that in Nigeria? I think you have to learn that.
I don't think they do. I think probably maybe there are some schools that try to bring out some methods. Yeah, but method acting is strictly
deep.
Yeah, it's
deep.
It's not the norm because sometimes you have to go through. I'll give you an example. I'm not quoting any school teaching this, but picture I want to make you get into a character to understand the depth of your mind, and I have to give you drugs to first to know the depth of your mind, because sometimes there's some drugs you take that your emotions are like buttons, and I have to give you that to first just understand what your mind is capable of, and then after it I tell you don't do drugs again. I'll give you a picture. Coming to class, everybody's in class, and then I say everybody should get naked, completely naked, and you're gonna attend class like that for 1 week. Because I want you guys to lose identity of yourself.
My teacher did that shit, bro, but not completely.
I'm just giving
came in our underwear.
Yeah.
No,
so examples,
for you to be comfortable on
and confident,
stage,
exactly.
In your body. You're gonna perform this scene in underwear. You're gonna perform this scene in a different position.
Yeah.
Just oh my goodness.
So because by the time you are able to put off the fear of the audience, what would they think about this performance? Am I gonna do fine? And you are able to concentrate on who am I right now? What am I? Because you have to lose your name. You will now begin to leave the character. And you know how it is for us. You have to build a backstory for your character. Sometimes the writers most times don't give you that. You have to create a backstory that brings life to your character. And you have to live in the character throughout that period. So it just makes you forget that other things exist, but only that character you are in, who you are, because you are no more the character.
Yeah.
You are it. So it's a deep way, which usually you would need time, which is not like how we should. Yeah, how we should in Nollywood.
Even after training, you still need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day,
but it's a beautiful experience because you get to experience what the life of that character is like. If it's the pains, you get to feel the pains for real. So you're even when you're reacting to scenes that are painful, it is real because you're now feeling the pain of what that character went through in that particular whatever.
What's the most research you've done for a role?
For
a role.
most
research you've done for a role.
A role. Okay, let me talk about the ones film in Nigeria because I've done a couple of most research I've done for a role. There was a movie I did. Weirdly, it's a YouTube movie. I had to play a man who had a scar on his face and who was an eye doctor. So usually the writer just wrote the story. It was a bit washy because he didn't know even as an eye doctor there were different departments. You had those who were specialized in creating the glasses, the optometrists or something like that. Then you had the ophthalmologist who was actually the one who does operations. Then you have the optometrist who was different, whose own is to give you eye care and all that. But he just mumbled, he jungled everything. So I had to do a research more about it. I had to create, as a matter of fact, I literally redrafted a lot of the scenes on my own. I had to do that. And luckily, the director is someone who just understands the way my mind works. I had to do that. It was a lot of work I had to do at a short period of time because you know how YouTube movies can be sometimes. They just come, So I had to do all of that. And because I felt like there was no too much depth alone to what the character was supposed to be, I decided to create a hunchback for the character to add to that. So the character had to have a hunchback, kind of, which I had to make sure that the director connected with what I was saying, because that was something that was going to give the character more depth, even with the scar, the hunchback, and being a doctor. Because the whole idea is that he was a doctor who had all these deformities, but he was helping people to get better. But then he had insecurity about himself in his relationships. So it was more like women could not pay too much attention to him and all that. And he falls in love with a girl who had an eye problem, who was literally blind. Falls in love with how she falls in love with him because of the way his voice was always soothing. I had to tweak it because, I mean, that's what filmmaking is about. Nobody sees what the writer writes, is what the performers do that people see. And you read a lot of places where I have some role models who I respect, like Sir Daniel Day-Lewis, Dustin Hoffman, the great Marlon Brando.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I love Denzel, what Denzel does. Leonardo DiCaprio. You see, most people would tell you Denzel was usually like a character force. A character police, rather. He would tell people, he would question directors, why do I have to do that? Yeah. Why does the character have to go there? Yeah. Because the whole idea is for you to get into the minds of the audience, to understand what would the audience even see about this, even when you're doing something. So it has to be realistic. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you watch some movies and you're like, oh no, man, I wouldn't do that if I was him. So these are things you have to put to play together with making your characters have strength. So even when the professionals who are doctors, who are in that field, see the character, they say, oh yes, that is something that this character should go through. Oh, that is true. That is how it should. So I had to create scenes where I was doing all that because it was not part of the script. And I had to do it in a short period of time. I had to do my research. Why I call it the biggest research is because I had limited time, but I had to come up with a lot. Yeah. And beautifully, the movie was an amazing one. I watch it and I'm proud of myself.
Still on Hollywood.
Yeah.
Still in Hollywood. Still in LA. Movie life. Hollywood. Big time. Huge time. America. So many opportunities. Did you ever taste Hollywood? You talked about the smell. Did you ever taste it?
So here was the beauty of it for me. I came to study to get the knowledge I needed. And of course, I did a couple of shows in school, which eventually gets shown. Even Universal Studios, we used that to do a couple of things. But for me, because I was working with a short period of time to come study all this and get back here, because the whole idea was, I felt charity begins at home. So let me go harness this fresh knowledge I have in this field, take it back home and kind of redefine that space. Because, I mean, Nollywood is springing forth. It's connecting. Back here. Yeah, and redefine it. And then I always say something, in Hollywood, if you're not living there,
and it's expensive.
And not just that. Guess what? Hollywood will never pick an RMD over a Samuel L. Jackson. They always pick their own first. You get. So there's that, because we still have a lot of great actors in Hollywood that have not still been able to get to the limelight as it should be.
Do you think that's why we haven't broken into that market?
I think so. I think it's highly competitive. We think Nollywood is competitive.
Or do you just
Hollywood
think
is
we're not-
way.
I feel like we're not good enough.
I feel like.
I feel like this is my problem with Nollywood. Forgive me, but I feel like so many people say that they're actors and actresses when they're not actors and actresses. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like,
Truth be told,
I feel you just because you look good doesn't mean you need to be an actor
at all. Truth be told, I think the industry has been watered down.
Yeah.
With all due respect
It has.
to the YouTube space, to a couple of things.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuffs, like the industry is, when it comes to talents, people are selling looks these days and not the art anymore.
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of movies and you just smile because you don't want to say too much, so it doesn't look like you're having any personal beef with anybody.
That's why I even wanted to ask you, because you come in, you were in Nigeria, then went to LA, you saw the different type of quality, different type of work ethic, different type of production, and you come back to Nigeria. You had to have felt discouraged.
Oh yeah, it's discouraging, but the fact is, Nigeria is home, and we know, I have an understanding of how Nollywood started in Nigeria. We don't have the structure they have. That's one key thing. They have structure, a very strong structure. They have a working guild. They have a lot. Like, before we can even get close to that level, there's a lot we need to work on. And they've had government backing for a long time. And so people trust in that industry. SACTRA is even more powerful than Hollywood because of so
Bollywood too.
Exactly. So it's Nollywood just came out from a couple of people who bring their funds together to make good movies, to make money. It even started out with people. Okay, back in the days, we had professionals who started it, and it synced into the level where they were the marketers who did not know anything about film, who were now the big producers. So they just contract people to produce for them. It was not about talent. It was about who could sell their film. And then it moved over to where we have the TV platforms like African Magic, The Rock, that we're calling the shots more like, because they were the ones who were getting content on their platforms. And then right now we have the cinema world sprung out because people began to enjoy the cinema culture, and we can tell there's been a lot of progress, and the cinema is going places definitely. And then we have the YouTube world that just spilled off, that has given room to the rise of new talents and given expression for a lot of people to be able to use that platform to showcase their talents, but at the same time has given room for a lot of mediocrity in the industry. That's why you have a lot of wishy-washy contents these days, and they all term everything as Nollywood. Well, it is what it is. It would have been, if we had structure, there's a way that certain contents that are not up to par would be restricted from getting attention in the audience. There's a way it would be that only actors who are trained, or actors who truly have what it takes, would be the ones showcasing their talents in movies.
So do you think YouTube is killing the quality of the industry?
Huh?
Do you think YouTube that just came in is killing the quality of the industry?
I think it has both. It works both. YouTube came in and created a larger job market and created opportunities even for those who felt like, look,
they were not getting enough opportunities.
Yes, they were not getting enough, and they had talent, and they have talent. And also it makes you now, you can be a producer.
Yeah.
Like back in the days, you can produce your stuff and float it on then you now choose the quality you want to put on your platform. You now create the template for your platform. But then at the same time, it now opens doors for just anybody to walk into the movie space, create content, and just put it on a YouTube platform. And you just see a lot of crazy shit, a lot of rubbish content. Sorry for using that word, but you see a lot of things these days. You get, but it does not take away the fact that we still have a lot of good content on YouTube. But then maybe if we had a structure, there's a way that all this will be able to, what's the right word? There'll be a way whereby we'll be able to only make sure that quality content are what comes out to the audience.
You keep mentioning this word structure. It's still on Nollywood.
Yeah.
What is holding us back from just crossing the line of maybe not competitive with Hollywood, but at least competitive with Bollywood? Even the Korean scene has is far ahead of us. And we started before them. So what is holding us back? How can we? Is it that structure?
It boils down to structure.
Break it down to me.
I'll give you an example. Now in Hollywood, we have film production houses. We have so many huge studios for production. We even have studios that support. That's like if you do not have enough funds, you can source for funds and the studio will partner with you because they think you have good content. We have from everything. You've been to Warner Bros., right?
Mm-hmm.
From everything, you can see that there is a level of professionalism in it. I'll give you an example. Even down to ethics in filmmaking. When you're filming abroad, you can see when there's an action, everybody goes quiet because people understand that it's filming taking place. In Nigeria, you can hear an action, you still see one sound man is talking to another person, and they forget the fact that the actor has a lot he's dealing with. You don't need. So, if there's a structure to be able to get these people will be trained in a way where they will understand what their work entails. Crew now, everybody walks in to become a crew member, but crew is a key department in filmmaking, down to the makeup artist. The makeup artist / makeover artist needs to understand what their job is. They should have a book for it.
I feel like every actor and actress has a bad experience with all them PMs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
makeup artists and all of them.
Yeah, so every department, you find out that there are very few professionals in this space. It's all about additional content. And you even see a production manager, I give it per se. Production manager's own mindset, the way they are trained is make a movie as fast as possible. Make your producer proud that he cut costs, a slimmer budget, and you shot in maybe a few days. That's what he thinks his job is. He's not even thinking about the quality of the content. He's thinking about being able to shoot the job fast. And then you find out that there's a problem. Because you see them rushing the actors to get into characters, rushing the actors to do this. They're not even paying attention to even the details that are needed in a scene.
They don't care about the art.
So all this boils down to if there was a structure that trained these people, if the guild or the industry had come to create film houses. Now we have one, Ebony Life, right? Beautiful. We had NFI, but then because some people would say it's way too expensive. Ebony Life is like free, if I remember. It's government sponsored, Lagos State government. If we had crew members going there and studying their art, actors going there and studying their art, if we had more of that, then you find out that we'll be bringing in more of professionals into the industry. Now, secondly, structure, still on the word structure, we need larger fundings for projects. We need also larger marketing. As a matter of fact, right now, Nollywood's marketing is literally zero. When a producer produces a film, he's not sure of his turnover. You get? Even if it's a very good film, because why? There are few people who can distribute the content the way it should be. But if we had powerful distribution houses, like how many times have you seen 2 distribution houses come together to sponsor a film? Everybody just trying to do their own thing in their own space. You get? And then it's a good thing. Back in the days, it was worse. But now I can see in the cinema world, a lot is changing. You can tell that people are coming together to do good things. You can tell that people are selling, they're doing no sprout. You can see some of the movies, not all the movies, by the way. Some of the movies on the Netflix and the cinemas are quite impressive. You say, yes, we're heading somewhere. But then all this requires the right funds. I know there was a time that Bank of Industry came out to give funds to people who want to produce, but then it wasn't everybody that could access it. Even creative filmmakers, indie filmmakers who had the talent when access that funds because they did not know any big name, they couldn't have access to it. It was only the old names too that could easily draw that fund. So it wasn't accessible per se. So we need all of this more because now if you have good money, you can say, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then also a lot of investment needs to be done for the film space itself in terms of building film studios everywhere. Film studios that will train people, that would also, in there, you can shoot a lot of projects and all that.
You think the government needs to put more into the film
That's
industry?
it. We need that. We constantly need all this support because that's how Hollywood grew into what it is today. You get,
who's on, like, there's a union, don't they have like a representative that's talked to the government?
Oh yeah, they do.
Who's leading that group, do you know?
Right now, I don't know who it is right now, but I don't mean to undermine anybody, but then you find out that at the end of the day, people who get to that position end up seeking for their own selfish gains.
Power.
yeah, you find out that certain people are the ones sharing money. It's not spreading out to the film industry. It's not spreading out to the creative space. You get it? Because why? Even see, Nigeria has a lot of problems, down to the government, to everything. I think it's just affecting every department. Nollywood is already a household name, not just a household name. You can see we're already influenced. We're bringing down people, even from Hollywood, to work with us because they can see what we do. I was impressed when I saw Idris Elba come down here, to come and direct. And also now I'm hearing that there's a film, Things Fall Apart, is going to be done. Idris Elba is playing Okonkwo.
But why is he getting the part?
Oh well,
why can't they? I feel like I missed the. I don't know. I missed the competition of open auditions, common audition. Like for example, a series like Friends.
Yeah,
you had to audition.
Oh yeah,
all these famous series that we see, Game of Thrones, they had to.
But
audition.
Back in the days, we used to do a lot of auditions.
I know, but what happened to? So how would you? I feel like this is my thing, and I was gonna throw you this. I feel like in Nollywood, they're very, very repetitive, especially when it comes to the male actors.
True, very true.
The same people, you
very
see
true.
them in every movie.
Very
and
true.
I feel like it kills that movie because they're going to bring the same energy.
Yeah.
Despite the fact they change character, different character, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel
and
like...
the truth is that there are a few actors who actually characterize.
So, I wanted to throw... Because I'm a rookie in the game. You're a vet. Why? I'm going to say it straight. Why am I not seeing you in these big movies? Why?
Well...
When I've watched you and I've seen some of these guys, I feel like you're better or you match up with them. So what's going on?
So Nollywood is a political industry, nevertheless. Like I say, Nollywood is just like our country itself. And I think there's something about everybody who knows this but never wants to talk about it. Nollywood is big on clicking. Oh yeah, okay, this is my own space. I'll call only my people. Sentimentalism. I'll call only these people because they are part of my clique, my people, or this, or they are big on that. It's never been about talent in Hollywood. It's always been about who is in my clique. It's a fact. You see, there are so many great actors. I can name a couple of actors that we used to do. You see great actors who understood the pride in acting. For me, I'm trained to feel like there was a time I was shooting a project. I had appendicitis. It was swollen. I said, if I die on this set, I'll die on this set. I was going to finish that project with that. And I used that in the character. There are very few people these days are all about how can I sell my face so I get more crowd, not because they have love for the industry. When it comes to passion for filmmaking, I'm a diehard. I can die for this industry because I know what it is. For me, it's my oath to God. Bro. When you give me a character, I don't play. It's serious business for me, you get. But then, the industry does not necessarily, except for, they're just those who understand that, oh, look, man, this is the art, and this is who can get it right. This is who I know will do it. A lot of the big producers, a lot of them, with all due respect, have always been about my circle, the people in my circle. And sometimes it's not their problem, it's not their fault. It's their assistants or their own producers who, let me just call the people who, they're my people, they always hail me, or they always send me.
People that we even need to be befriending.
Yeah.
The director's assistants.
Exactly. So all those, they keep recycling those same people who are in their supposed circle. So it's more about sentimentalism and has never been about true talent. Do not get me wrong, there are still good actors. There are a lot of good actors still in that circle. But that's the thing, because we have a lot of political play in Nollywood. It's everywhere. It's a Nigerian thing where my people...
The best don't get what they want.
Not about, exactly. But the good thing about the art is that the art always finds its way to express itself. You cannot cage the art. So that will fizzle out when the time is right. That will fizzle out. And it will get to a point where even the wishy-washy ones would not be able to stay there in that space. And being a creative person, you always evolve. As a creative person, you evolve, you create your own content, you spread out, do other stuffs. Towards the end of the year, I have a project. I'm not gonna talk so much about it. Okay. It's big. It's gonna be shot in LA.
Okay.
We have, there's stuffs like that because why?
I would love to audition.
Oh, trust me. I will shock you. It's big. It's in there. I don't want to talk too much about it because the producers are doing a lot.
I would love to audition, bro. That's all I'm saying.
It's huge, and I know something that art would always find its way to express. You can't cage art.
I want to know how you will feel when I say this word. First thing that comes to your head. AMVCA. First thing that comes to your head.
I try to be diplomatic.
Oh, the fuck that.
But I think a lot of times,
First thing that comes to your head. AMVCA.
I smile when, firstly,
Felix. You are going all about.
You know why I'm doing that?
First thing that comes to your head. AMVCA. I was waiting for this. AMVCA. Because all of you in the industry get all. Some people are like, oh, I don't need it. I don't need it. No. I want to know. You are a competitor. You're an athlete. You've been to the best. You feel like you're the best. AMVCA. First thing that comes to your head.
AMVCA.
Oh, come on, bro.
Still the same thing, man. I'll say my people. My people. It's my people. That's what they do. My people. That's the way I say it. With all due respect to the organizers, Mnet and the rest, I still feel like it's my. But then, you know, I don't talk too much at the end of the day. AMVCA is based on viewers voting. They call it the African Magic Viewers' Choice. So it's the audience that actually gets to
That's what
pick.
they show the audience.
That's what they say, but it's what they show the audience. You know, this is how it's done in Hollywood, the Oscars. Actors, best actor category. It is fellow actors that vote who the best actor is. Why? Because actors know who performed. Best director for the year. It is fellow directors that vote for who the best director is. Because a director knows when he sees a good project. Same with every department, best makeup and all that. Because that's where you truly get who deserves the award.
So who does it for AMVCA?
Viewers' choice. And in-house, I don't know. I don't know how to go about it because I'm not part of the team. But with all due respect to them, I don't know how to go about it. But there's so many awards I've seen and I'm like,
Zoom Film Festival, you got that one?
Film Festival.
Zulu Film Festival. Zulu African
Film Festival. That was my first produced film, by the way.
Really?
It won five Film Festival awards.
Wow.
Yeah, and the film has gone so far and wide, and because the story was unconventional, so it was being told in a different way. Yeah, so it was amazing. I feel privileged to have won all those awards. Yeah, and the director, who is my good friend Best Okoduwa, is also he's a French trained director, by the way. He's a deep person to like me, very deep, and it's always easy when you and someone who you vibe on the same level, you guys you understand what you're talking, you come together and you create something beautiful. The story was a kind of story, and I just changed it, I tweaked it, we literally flipped the whole story around because we wanted to create controversy around it. So it was a good expression. And for me, I honor more festival awards than actual awards, because festivals, nobody knows me in person.
Felix, don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do that.
You know why?
Do you want the AMVCA? Do you still want it?
Everybody sees the AMVCA as the biggest platform for an award in the Nollywood space.
Everybody sees it as the best.
Yeah. But why I say I honor the festival awards is because why? Nobody there probably knows me personally. I do not have any relationship with anybody, but they saw my work.
It was good enough merit.
And they honored it. But in the AMVCs and all that, mostly there's relationship with everybody. Believe me.
Do you still want it?
Everybody wants it. Eventually. Eventually, everybody wants it. But it is more prestigious when people who do not know you personally single out your content and give it an award. Do you feel in your heart, I deserved it? Because they just give it to me. They don't know me. But I could tell you that there are people who want AMVCA that in their mind, they're like, and my people, now what there was
a lot of controversy about the 2 years ago, best female. A legend was up. They didn't give her flowers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, you know how it is. For me, I just think it's the Nigerian space. Nigeria is big on sentimentalism in every field. It's not just Nollywood. It spills over to the banking industry, to every industry now. Now my people go favor first. That's the way I say it.
Oh, my brother, just to end it, like I said, I'm a huge fan. I've seen your work. I've done my research.
Thank
you. It's crazy how you had an amazing woman in your life, your mother, she was the rock, and you found love. And people always say your mother is the number one woman in your life, and your wife is also another number one woman in your life.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking when I saw that you lost your wife last year.
Oh yeah.
And I just wanted to know, like, what happened and how that has shaped you, not just as a man, but like I said, we're athletes, and stuff
Yeah.
like that affects you. So how did that affect you in the field as an actor?
Okay. My mom has always been my greatest support system, and then my wife, uh, she is my biggest supporter. She was um, she was one who supported me behind the scenes more than anyone else. A lot of times. And the truth is that the year she passed on, which is last year, 2023, if I remember, yeah, 2023, um, we already were prepping to do our wedding. So we had gotten married by court. So just towards November that year was supposed to be like the wedding and everything. We had everything in preparation before that happened. And for me, it was 2023 was a terrible year mentally for me. But typically, as a man of the arts, I used the film to camouflage. I just buried myself with work, with characters, and all that. And the way you're trained, you use even your darkest moments to bring out the best characters. So
Do
when
you
you
feel
give
like
me
you
an
were acting
emotional,
in the house?
huh?
Did you feel like you carried on the characters in the house to like put on a
Oh
brave
yeah,
face?
oh yeah, because I had to be strong. I had nobody to like go up. Everybody was just always calling me, and people were calling me, trying to reach out to me to know how I was doing. And someone who I must show respect, even here on this platform, who tried to reach out to me a lot of times, Mercy Johnson, with all due respect, thank you so much. Big
Amazing,
sis, you're
amazing,
amazing.
amazing world,
Yeah,
man.
she was reaching out to me
Amazing,
always and telling
amazing
me
girl.
that if you need anything, I'm here. Like, this is personally, it was a moment where because I felt like I hate to be a victim, yeah. So I don't like to be pitied. So I just try to cut up, like literally blocked my lines for people not to call and reach out because I did not like the whole story about this. I had to just carry on with everything. I knew this had happened, and her family was in shock. Her parents were in
Was it
shock.
sudden? Like,
It was
or
sudden. She
was
was just
somebody?
okay. She was ill. As a matter of fact, she was. I was even on the set when it all happened. She was ill. She went to her family because her family just came back from Canada and she was around. So she went to see them to spend time with them. She was there for like 3 weeks plus, and all of a sudden, oh, she wasn't feeling too fine. She was taken to the hospital, and okay, fine, she's in the hospital. The mom was like, she's fine, she's good because the mom is a matron, an amazing woman anyway. We're still always connecting even up to now. So communicating, oh yeah, I was calling, oh, is she fine? Is she good? And all that. Yeah, she's fine. She's getting better. And all of a sudden, she had a relapse because they had to do like a blood transfusion. She had a relapse, and her organ expanded, her liver expanded or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay, they were like, oh yeah, everything was gonna be fine, whatever. So I was shooting even a location, I was filming. And when the mom who's a matron tells you everything will be fine, she
Yeah,
understands that better.
yeah.
And to me, I'm like, okay, we were talking, we even spoke that morning, and she was like, she's getting better, she's getting better. Only for me, when I was shooting somewhere that Aja side, down. The network is so bad around that area. And I think by the time I was done filming, I drove back home. I got home in Lekki Phase 1. And my network came back. I saw lots of messages, missed calls, and all that. I was like, what's going on? I tried reaching, nobody was speaking. So I had to call her immediate kid sister's husband in Canada too. And I was like, man, she's gone. I didn't sleep throughout the night. That she's gone. She passed on. That they've been trying to reach me on phone. So it was a very traumatic period for me mentally. I was like this throughout the night, from that night till morning, and I had to be on set the next day. That's how mad it was. I had to be.
Did you go to set?
I still had to. I'm not gonna hang anybody's project. I'm not gonna hold their project down. I just had to because you know how it is. A lot of people might not really
You're a
understand.
fucking athlete.
I had to, and I was in shock. I went on set. I was filming because literally nobody knew at that point. It was just me who knew what happened. Nobody in the industry space knew anything, and I was filming, but I tried to make sure nobody saw that I was distracted. It was like towards the evening, I literally broke down, and Um, it was a crazy period though. And then the director, who's a close friend of mine too, he saw that and all that, and they had to just rush to get me done so I could leave. And it was a crazy period for me because, and I didn't want to deal with the emotions that come because she was my best friend, you know, she was my best friend, support system mentally and everything. And after that happened, I didn't want to be locked up mentally with that. So what I just had to do was to collect a lot of job bookings so that I was constantly buried with work. So 2023, I was shooting back to back. Every month I was doing nothing less than 6 movies. After that happened, I was just trying to what I didn't want to I didn't want to communicate with that emotion that period. And what we just did is I made sure she was buried, all that, you know, because that was the most important thing. And then I had to deal with the emotional trauma myself. And luckily I have my mother always, my strong, firm foundation. And it was a lot for me, but I think God gave me so much strength mentally to deal with it. And even when I was, you know, like you go, you shoot, then you come back in the evening, and then you remember where you are. I don't know how I even summoned the strength, how to live with it throughout 2023. It was crazy. It was like and also her mother too was a great support system. Her mom, I was shocked. Her mom literally was stronger than everybody else. She was the one calling me and encouraging me and telling me, no, it has happened, it has happened. She was telling me this is it. She was telling me that, you know, because you know, at that time you're blaming yourself for a lot. Oh, maybe I should have just abandoned the job and went there. Maybe this, because that's what usually happens. And the mom's like, no, there's nothing you'd have done. There's so
Have you given your time? Have you given yourself time to grieve though?
oh yeah, oh yeah. I've taken out time to do that. I did that just this year. It was this year when it clocked 1 year since she passed on, which was June.
Wow.
And yeah, I took up my time. And then a lot of things even happened, even that in that space. A lot of things happened, which was weird, funny. Where some people try to use the news to spin off a lot of stories.
In the media.
In the media, you know how it is, Nigeria. But then good thing is I blocked out a lot of things that period. I had my mother, I had a couple of friends, strong friends, and they were just supportive. And I had work to bury myself. I just kept doing what I know how to do best. My job as an actor, as a filmmaker. And yeah, it was for me, I think what that has done also is that it has helped to amplify the way I portray emotional scenes if I have to, because I have things to connect with, um, to draw out pain and all that, because those are
So you
like,
channel that energy.
yeah. So I try to channel everything for positive users because there's happened, there's not, I've got to understand everybody has their bus stop in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't know your bus stop. But at the end of the day, what matters is the legacy you leave behind when you leave us. What do you leave behind? What is being said about you when you leave? And life is too short. That's what people fail to understand. Everybody wants to get all the wealth in the world, all the blah, blah, blah. But they forget that life is short. You need to be living right now. You need to be living. Don't exist. Live. Live and lay your mark. Do what you love to do. Enjoy the moment with your loved ones. Because we sometimes we are carried away with hustle, working hard, and we forget to pay attention to our loved ones in the middle of that. But that just taught me that always create time to spend with your loved one, which is what I do now. I don't play with it. I have my time. Well, okay, no work this period. It's just me and fam. We have fun. We do
Very
all that.
important. It's good to have a balance.
Yeah.
It's
So
good
I
to have
learned
a
a lot
balance.
in that space. I learned a lot, and what I learned is always going to stay with me. Her memory is always going to be with me because she was an amazing person. She was an angel on earth.
My brother,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss. May
Thank
your
you,
soul
bro.
rest
Thank
in
you.
perfect peace.
Amen. Amen.
She sounded like a beautiful woman. I can feel the passion through your eyes, and
Believe me.
I'm happy you took time to grieve as a man, not just as a man, but as an actor, because sometimes that energy can be used for toxicity, but
Yeah.
you channeled it to strength, and I appreciate you for that.
Thanks, bro.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you not just for yourself, but for your fans as well, because I am a fan, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And hey, that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Anything, tell the people the socials, tell the people what we have coming up. You have a YouTube channel.
Oh, well, weirdly, I don't have yet.
Not yet.
No,
you're
yeah.
probably gonna start one, eh?
Yeah, I know everybody's
I knew
jumping
it.
on that trend.
I knew you're gonna start one. Felix,
Yeah,
you're gonna start
but you know,
one.
there's something about me. I like to study trends first before I jump into anything. I know right now a lot of people just see the YouTube space. Oh man, there's money in it if you can create good content. Everybody's jumping on it and all that. But I'm not someone who just does something without understanding the market and
Yeah.
how it operates. So I take my time to study. I'll study those who succeed in it, those who are still draggy, and understand where the mistakes could be or whatever. So I'm taking my time
Okay.
to study all of that.
Okay.
So eventually, by
Okay.
God's grace, I'll
Okay.
still get to that space.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll still get to that space. But you know, I'm
What
still.
we have coming up though? What do we have coming up?
Oh wow.
You talking about a big movie? I know you don't want to spill.
Oh yeah, based on the contract understanding I have with them.
Okay.
Because I'm not supposed to talk about anything that has to do with it until when it's already in production.
Okay.
When we start, yeah. So
That's
we're
huge.
we're looking forward to starting towards the ending of this year. It's just certain things they're trying to, fix at the end of the day.
Okay.
And yeah, it's gonna be something huge, something that would be wonderful, really wonderful. I don't
You're
want to
gonna
call
tell
it.
us a genre, romance, comedy,
Uh,
thriller,
it's a
action.
blend of so much.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, they are looking. This is more like an expo. They are looking to have Will Smith play like 3 scenes.
Shut up.
I'm
Shut up.
joking, yeah. So they are
Shut
still,
up.
those are some of the things still in work.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
am playing, bro.
Will Smith?
I am playing.
Like the Will Smith, Fresh Prince?
I am playing.
Now this is a story all about how...
They are looking to getting him on board for just 3 scenes or 2 scenes.
Oh
about
my
that.
goodness.
Yeah, so it's hugely sponsored, but it has a lot in play. Which
Are you
they're
gonna be the
trying
first
to
Nigerian to act Will Smith?
It's not just me. There are a couple of Nigerian actors.
Hey!
There are a couple of
I
them.
hope you get the first
Yes.
scene.
I'm not, I'm not going to say much because I'm restricted.
Okay.
Based on my, I'm restricted from saying too much about it. But it looks fresh. It looks like something good, and I like to jump on things like that. Because
Oh, that's dope, brother.
yeah,
That
it's
is
a good way to
dope.
express. I love to work on characters. Like when I'm given a character, I don't like to play the way the writer put it. I like to create something because I'm like, okay, if I'm doing a job, I don't want people to always see that there's similarities with the last project you did and this project. I want to create
You wanna
some
see a
new,
difference.
something different. As much as it's hard because of the kind of the way we shoot here, we shoot mostly drama, similar characters.
True.
I always try to add some fresh nuances to each character that I'm given, which is work for me. So this is like a whole lot of work where I have to create a life out of the character.
Hey.
Yeah. So
That's dope. I'm excited.
so many good things coming up. So many good
I'm
things.
excited.
I'm happy for the fact Nollywood, despite the fact we're not there yet, we're expanding.
We are. We're
We are
getting
growing.
big.
It's
We're getting
progressive.
big. We're getting
Yeah.
big. They're doing nice. They're doing
Yeah.
nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a nice episode. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow my brother, my fellow thespian,
Yeah.
on all his socials. His link is going to be down in the description below. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Saturday Brunch, and we're out.